nice dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
Okay, you're in for a huge treat. I'm sitting here with another member of Mass Hysteria. We're a new improv team coming out of New York. This is Adam Howard speaking, and I'm sitting with one of the best improvisers around, Tommy DiLillo. You may know him as Tommy Salami or Thomas J or Mr. Lucky.
I would prefer not Thomas J if possible.
Okay,
but Tommy Salami I do enjoy.
That works as well. This is kind of a treat for me because I probably know Tommy the least well of all the members of the group, so he's sort of a mystery to me. I know he's a Mets fan, and I know as of right now the Mets are on a 4-game winning streak, so you probably feel pretty good about that.
True, I'm very happy about that.
It may be fleeting, but we want to mark this moment in time. The Mets are on a winning streak, and they are above 500. Also, tell the folks who are listening, what do you do for a day job?
Well, for a day job, I work at a law firm doing their recruiting for lateral hiring. That's when, associates, partners switch between firms. So it's not the most exciting, but it's a good office job.
How did you transition from that job into doing improv stuff? I guess you're still doing that job, but how did you get into improv?
Well, actually, before I got the job, I was also in legal recruiting before, but I just decided sort of, maybe not on a whim, but I was looking into doing some sort of acting. All the acting classes that I saw were sort of not to my liking or very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I never really did any acting or performing other than, say, like high school senior shows or whatever.
And what kind of stuff did you play in high school?
Oh, I mean, when I say senior shows, like a variety show sort of thing.
Okay.
So we did like a skit from SNL where I was a nerd and had an inhaler, which is not too far from... I mean, I have an inhaler. I wouldn't call myself a nerd, but I have glasses.
Right.
And
sure. That doesn't make you a nerd necessarily.
No, I mean, it's rude when people say that.
Yeah. So you have wanted to do acting and comedy for a while?
I've been thinking about doing it for a while. And then I didn't really know much about the pit before I saw it, but I saw they had a level 0 class, which, to me seemed like the ideal sort of intro into it.
Mm-hmm.
It was 4th level class with the teacher was Taryn, and I really enjoyed it, and I've sort of been doing it ever since. It's about a little over a year, maybe a year.
Who were when you were a kid? I guess you mentioned SNL. I mean, were there people on that show, or just in general in terms of comedy, that you sort of looked up to, or you wanted to emulate, or you admire?
SNL. I mean, I watched that a lot as a kid. I also watched Conan whenever I was able to stay up. But I mean, Dana Carvey. Jim Carrey. I always enjoyed him. More recently, I've been like Gene Wilder. If I can
Gene Wilder's awesome.
Play a crazy madman like him, that would be golden.
I think he's one of the most underrated guys just ever who ever did it, and it's really weird and sad that he just sort of abruptly stopped doing stuff.
Yeah,
he's one of those people that I think people think is dead now, but he just abruptly stopped doing movies.
Yeah, I was not sure if he was alive, but
have you seen Stir Crazy? That movie is amazing.
No.
You should check it out. It's him and Richard Pryor. He did a few movies with him, but Stir Crazy, check it out.
I was going to say, it sounds familiar.
It's amazing.
Maybe I have seen it.
Yeah, well, Silver Streak is good, but Stir Crazy is mwah. So let's mix it up a little bit. Let me ask you some questions, some just random questions. We'll improv it.
All right.
What is your favorite sound?
That's
I
not
hope
it.
not
That's
that.
Not
Yeah,
it.
that is horrible sound.
I enjoy a good Raji. That's a good one.
What was that?
That's a sound that me and my girlfriend say a lot.
Okay.
It means a lot of different things.
Okay. What's the sound that you dislike?
I don't know. That's just the horrible sound that first thing that came to my mind.
That's good. What is your favorite curse word?
Sarsaparilla. No, sarsaparilla. I don't know.
What does that mean?
I don't curse.
Ever?
No, I do curse sometimes.
When you're mad?
I don't necessarily have a favorite curse word, though.
Oh, wow.
No.
I guess you don't really curse a lot. You're kind of like a very well-behaved young man.
It's shit, maybe I say sometimes, but
okay.
I don't have a fondness for it.
Sure. If you were a superhero, what would you want your superpower to be?
Flying would be... flying would be awesome, but I don't know how you... Like, flying or, like, seeing the future or reading people's minds would be...
Yeah. I would want to read people's minds.
That's like a subtle one. Like, flying, you're really going to be out there.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas, like, you could be a subtle superhero and keep your secret identity.
You remember that weird, and I say weird in, like, the vaguest sense of the word, but that John Travolta movie, Phenomenon, where he was, like, got super smart, and it turned out he just had a tumor?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, spoiler alert. But I just remember being very impressed with that movie to a certain degree as a young person, because I wanted that ability to just, like, be able to read, like, very advanced books very quickly and just absorb all the knowledge very quickly.
John Travolta was amazing in that movie.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that movie.
I'm pro John Travolta, even though I don't know if you heard the new thing, right?
I did hear that. That was,
Unfortunate.
I
mean, if he's gay, he's gay, but, hopefully he didn't make the anti-Semitic remark, because that's a bummer, you know. But, we shall see, I guess. Time will tell.
That also reminds me of Powder. I feel like that came
out
at
I never
the same
saw.
time.
That I never saw. It looked kind of creepy.
It is a little creepy. He was a creepy guy, and he remembers everything.
Yeah.
Which is, he remembered when he was born.
See, that power to me seems completely annoying. Like, why would you... I wouldn't want to remember everything ever.
I mean, he didn't want to either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was distraught, I guess.
Yeah.
So, we're in level 5 now. We're getting close to the end. What are you sort of looking forward to? What are your kind of goals with this? Where do you see yourself going with the whole improv thing?
Well... It's sort of, one thing I'm excited about is for our new shows coming up. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to actually, like, getting in front of an audience and hopefully getting laughs on a regular basis. Then from there, done with the pit, and not necessarily done with the pit, but the classes.
Yeah.
So maybe try UCB.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Maybe try some other acting classes elsewhere to sort of, get in touch with the emotion.
Do you have, like, a moment or a memory from doing improv that's sort of your favorite?
I always enjoy, like, the scenes, like... Early on, I really liked when we did the monologues in classes.
Mm-hmm.
That was sort of like, not performing before, is sort of getting over the fear of sort of like being yourself and just like, talking. I think we had to do it for like 2 minutes, and that seemed like a really long time.
Yeah.
And, it just seems to be like getting easier and easier, I guess.
So you feel like you're growing and getting better as a performer?
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah? You talk a little bit about trying to get in touch with your emotions more. Is that something that you have a hard time with, or? Not in life. In improv.
I don't know. I don't know how deep we were getting. No, sometimes you can just sort of play a typical character.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes I, like, start out being really angry in a scene, and then all of a sudden it's just, like, you sort of just drop that.
Right.
And trying to get where it's, like, sustained.
You don't particularly seem like a very angry guy. Is that, like, hard for you to play angry people? You seem pretty, like, even-keeled and happy.
No, it's not difficult. It's, maybe yelling anger for the whole time, you know. But it's not necessarily a hard thing to do.
Right. And what do you think about our team and our group? I mean, obviously everybody has sort of different sensibilities. I mean, do you think, what do you think you bring to the group, I guess, that's unique?
I hope, you know, I like doing some strange and weird characters. The
Example?
other class we did a.
Yeah.
I sort of brought in a demon child,
That's
which
true.
is sort of like the most disgusting child in the world, and you know I thought it brought a lot to the scene. You know, so hopefully, some interesting characters. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. What's sort of the strangest moment that you remember from all of the improv stuff that you've done?
The strangest moment. I mean, there's some like some weird scenes, I guess, that happen. But I don't know what's. I would say the strangest moment would be when we were doing fortune teller thing, and I think you were in this class.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's even strange. It's just really funny. And for some reason, the guy just said...
Well, we should explain what it is real quick. So you go around the room, and everybody sort of tries to complete a fortune cookie. So someone would say always, and then they'd point to someone else, and they'd say try, and then you'd go around the room until you completed something resembling a fortune cookie phrase. And I think the story you're telling is someone said the word hard. It's always hard, or something like that. And then it led to one of our friends, teammates, whatever you want to call it. And he screamed cock at the top of his lungs. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. And, you know, from there, any time someone said any sort of innuendo word, just lost it. I think pretty much the whole class. So I don't know if that's the weirdest moment, but, you know.
Yeah, we had a weird one too. I don't know if I told you the story about how our last class in level 4, one of our teammates showed up clearly drunk. I don't know if I've told you the story. And he brought McDonald's French fries with him. He put them in the center of the room while we were doing kind of our stretch and share. And then he proceeded to like occasionally run over to the center of the room and grab a fry. And then he was offering them to everyone, which was kind of strange. I was impressed that he just kind of kept his composure for the most part. I didn't realize he was drunk at first. I just thought he was acting kind of flaky. And
I can never tell when people are drunk or like high or anything.
Well,
I just think they're happy. And
yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, usually...
Unless they're like, you know...
Yeah, if someone's slurring their speech and like clutching at the wall, which this was the case, I felt convinced. Right. And he was sort of like karate kicking the air during our break, which is always an interesting move. And... But yeah, that was one of the most surreal moments ever. Oh, also...
It sounded like he was just sharing his french fries by putting them in the middle. But...
Yeah, I think he meant it as a nice thing. It was a nice gesture, I guess. The weirdest thing, too, was level 1. I was in a class with Meg, and I may have told you this story, too, but 2 players were about to do a scene, and they were asked for a suggestion, and Doyle, one of the people in our class, screamed out 9/11, which was kind of like a real comedy killer, because what followed was probably the most painfully awkward scene I've ever witnessed. It just was 2 very sad people talking about how sad 9/11 was. Didn't really have like a turn or no heightening exactly. It just sort of happened. So I guess that was an important lesson to learn. Probably shouldn't bring 9/11 into an improv show. So before we sign off, do you have any last parting words, any advice to improvisers out there, anything you want to share with the world about who you are, your essence?
Well, I would say for anybody who's thinking about doing improv, just do it. Even if you don't want to, say, be an actor, it's a lot of fun. You know, it's just pretty much, I see it a lot of times as playtime. And it's just, you know, you're just in basically doing imaginary things. And if you want to be a superhero, whatever, you get to do that. So yeah, you know.
All right, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Adam.